We have a new report that Trevor Zegras of the Anaheim Ducks has hit the trade block, and we could see a shocking trade incoming between the Calgary Flames and the Anaheim Ducks. And while it is just a rumor and speculation as of right now, we could see general manager Craig Conroy pull the trigger to try and acquire some youth with some untapped potential that could fit into the plans for the future of the organization. We will get into all of that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe, because only right around 27% of the people watching are subscribed. So if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around the Calgary Flames, then please feel free to join the Flames Digest family. We would love to welcome you to the community. But without further ado, let's talk about Zegras on the trade block. And it was originally released by Pierre LeBrun, who is over at the NHL Combine in Buffalo right now. He's been talking to some GMs. Not too sure if he's spoken to Craig Conroy yet. However, he has spoken to the general manager of the Anaheim Ducks. And let's talk about how the Ducks are listening on some Zegras offers. Now, this article comes from The Score, written by Sean O'Leary, but like I said, it was originally reported by the main man himself, Pierre LeBrun. But Trevor Zegras, let's talk about him. We know he didn't have all that great of a season. He didn't play all that much. He's already been labeled as injury prone in his career. But let's take a quick look at the stats here. Only played in 31 games this year and only got 15 points. Was not a very impressive season after he had an amazing rookie season and some decent seasons since. But last year, let's face it, he was on a pretty dog I almost said it. A pretty dog Anaheim Ducks team, and he's supposed to be one of their main pieces in their kind of rebuild, but it already seems as though they're ready to give up on him. And if you look at the deeper stats, he wasn't all that bad. The giveaways and takeaways almost the same, only -1 on the season on like I said, a very bad Anaheim Ducks team. A Corsi for percentage above 50 is always what you want to go for, and he's still young, only 23 years old. So he still has stuff to offer. He has very, very much potential. He's got a lot of potential going. And look, I know he's in a franchise where he can be one of the number one players. Guess what? Calgary's also one of those places. We say it in every video, but almost every free agent and player on the trade block could come here and be one of the main guys. So let's read this article here. Anaheim Ducks general manager Pat Verbeek is listening to trade offers for star forward Trevor Zegras, sources told The Athletic's Pierre LeBrun. Verbeek reportedly brought up Zegras in trade talks this season, and discussions have resurfaced with the offseason around the corner, LeBrun notes. So, it's official that Zegras, we know he was, kind of in some trade talks earlier this season. Nothing really went crazy. It wasn't like the Flames' potential trade talks with Markstrom. The whole saga we went through with Tanev, Hanifin, even Lindholm for a bit there. But either way, let's continue here. Although he wasn't specifically talking about a potential return for Zegras, Verbeek recently revealed he's looking to add experience to a young Ducks team next campaign. So he's willing to give up Zegras for maybe a veteran. I'd like to add a couple more veteran pieces to the group, Verbeek said. I'd like to find a top 6 winger, and I'd like to find a top 4 defenseman. 31 other teams could say the same thing, right? So Verbeek, obviously, he's a realistic guy. Everyone's looking for some top players, top winger, top defenseman. But he believes that Zegras could potentially fetch one of those things. And maybe Zegras just needs a new opportunity. Who knows? That could happen in Calgary. Verbeek added, I'm trying to make our lineup deeper while having the younger kids gain more experience, learn from veteran players, and not have to bear the burden of producing offensively. The Ducks finished 30th in league standings this season with 59 points and missed the playoffs for a 6th consecutive year. Zegras has been considered a cornerstone of Anaheim's rebuild since being drafted 9th overall in 2019. The New York native has 154 points in 211 games with the Ducks and placed runner-up for the Calder Trophy in his rookie season before notching a career-high 65 points just a couple of seasons ago. And yes, Zegras does have quite a bit to offer. I know he was injured this year and didn't get all that many points, but let's take a deeper look into his career stats here. Look, he has been on some bad Anaheim Ducks teams. Very, very bad. But to still have 154 points in 211 games really isn't all that bad, especially this past season. That was very, very terrible. The one eye-popping thing there is, while this season his plus-minus wasn't that bad, the previous couple seasons were terrible. Once again, I do have to say it was on very bad Anaheim Ducks teams. But either way, Zegras has shown that he can play hockey. He was great at the World Juniors for Team America. He's a flashy player. I know that can cause some problems for some people. Sometimes the personality gets in the way of the actual player, and that's not a good thing. We'd rather just have him put his head down and play some good hockey, some good skilled hockey from a guy like Zegras. But either way, nowhere in that article did it mention that the Calgary Flames were in on it. But what do we do here, Flames Digest? Everyone's linked to the Flames somehow. This time we don't have an actual report linking the Flames, but maybe I'll be the insider on this one. Call me the new Bubba MacKenzie because I'm in here. I'm ready to do it. So let's talk about a potential trade with our beloved Calgary Flames. Now, one thing I want to just bring up again that I showed in the previous chapter is what the Ducks are looking for. So if you read the second paragraph here again, let's read the first part. I'd like to add a couple more veteran pieces to the group. First part here, I'd like to find a top six winger. Now, the Flames have some top six wingers for sure. We have Andrew Mangiapane, who is a borderline top six winger. I mean, he'd be a top six winger on Anaheim, let's face it, but that might not be what the Ducks are totally looking for. They want a scorer more so and a veteran winger. Well, Mr. Verbeek, if you're watching, have you ever heard of this guy here? His name's Jonathan Huberdeau, and let me tell you, 52 points, this guy is unreal. He is a scorer, played almost every single game this past season, got 12 goals, 40 assists. He loves saucing the puck around. No need to look at the plus minus. The Flames were bad. He is really, really good. You should really, really go for him. For anyone who's not Verbeek watching, I know what you're saying. That contract is unmovable. It would be impossible to move that contract around. It just can't happen. There is a chance here. And I know there's no report supporting this. This is all coming from myself. But there's a chance that we could see Huberdeau for Zegras. Would it be 1-for-1? No, there could be so many stipulations. Look, Zegras is going to be an RFA once again pretty soon, and Huberdeau is signed until pretty much the entire future for over $10 million. But there is a chance that something could happen here. Huberdeau, look, maybe he needs another opportunity, and the Ducks have the cap space if they want to bring Huberdeau on. Huberdeau could be able to help push some of the younger players. I mean, we've said the same thing about Calgary. Hasn't happened, not necessarily, but it could happen. And then bringing Zegras over here, Zegras could fit into the Flames quite well. You know, he has the capabilities of playing pretty much anywhere in the forward lineup, and who knows what type of player he could turn into if he were healthy. Now let's go back to the article here. What's the second part? I'd like to find a top 4 defenseman. Now, Anaheim, they do not have a great D-core. We know that for sure. And the Flames have they have 3, I guess we can say, decent defenders. But one of them that could be involved in a trade, definitely a top 4 defenseman, that has been in the trade rumor mill, is Rasmus Andersson. Rasmus Andersson, not too sure how happy he is in Calgary right now. You know, he was on some competitive Flames teams and everything got flipped. I'm sure he's not too happy about it. There's a chance that Andersson could be involved in one of these trades. I love Raz, would love to keep him around, but for the right trade, something could work out with the Zegras and Andersson trade. Now, I am under the belief that Andersson is more valuable than Trevor Zegras. I know a lot of people will disagree with that since Zegras was runner-up in the Calder and has had some good seasons, but Andersson is the type of player that would be valuable to literally any team in the entire NHL, all 32. I could genuinely see him being traded to Utah as well, but that's just totally from my head. There's, again, no article supporting that one. But either way, Rasmus Andersson could be involved in one of these trades as well, and the Flames could get Zegras back plus something else. I know there will be people in the comments disagreeing with that, thinking that Zegras is more valuable than Andersson, and fair enough, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I'd love to see Conroy at least try to acquire Zegras and maybe something else for Rasmus Andersson. And look, if we got Trevor Zegras, you don't go without his celebrity couple. We could have another celebrity couple. The Flames have already had one lately, and that was Cole Schwinn, of course, with Megan Eugenio, OT Megan. I think they've broken up now. I don't know all the lore. I know this is really pushing it for content here. But we could have another one in Zegras and Dixie D'Amelio. My goodness, if we have another celebrity couple coming to Calgary, Calgary could become the new hub. It could be like what Toronto has become in the sports world ever since Drake took over the Raptors, that kind of thing. Who knows what Calgary could become? There's untapped potential for the whole city, let alone just the Flames here. I know I'm reaching on that one, but a Zegras trade could be beneficial in more way than one. Please let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are and maybe a potential mock trade to acquire Trevor Zegras for the right price, of course. And talking about comments, let's get into everyone's favorite part of the day, the comment of the day. And this one relates to yesterday's video about potentially signing Sean Monahan in free agency. I like this comment here from our boy, a regular around here, just my opinion, 9959. Love the idea. Monahan was excellent before his injury problems. He seems to be healthy and never left here on bad terms. And who knows, he might even be someone who meshes well with Huberdeau. And those were my thoughts exactly. Monahan's the type of player who would excel on a line with Huberdeau because Monahan can just park himself near the net. Huberdeau can dish it to him. It's like Zach Hyman over in Edmonton, you know? Monahan, he can pot the puck. He did it so many times with Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Huberdeau is a player like Gaudreau. Bring back Monahan, there's a chance. I know Monahan is slow, and it might not be the best free agent to go after, but it's not the worst idea in the world, and we can all dream bringing back all the homies. Let's get Kipper and Iggy back while we're at it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.